Chelsea drew with Brentford yesterday 2-2, but there's one thing that we can be very clear about is that you cannot blame Enzo Maresca. Now, I know it's a little bit rich coming from me because I've been very critical of Enzo Maresca, but I think it's very clear that he hasn't got all that he wants. I am the firmest of believers, and I will die on this hill, that goals will always win you games, but defense wins you titles. Going forward, we look very exciting. Yes, the build-up is quite slow. It looks like we're very methodical going forwards, but when we do go forwards, it looks like we're creating something, especially when we've got Cole Palmer. But if there's one thing that Maresca did ask for, and I am, again, a firm believer that if a workman that has all the best tools in the world and still can't get the job done, then he isn't good at what he does. Maresca asked for one specific thing before the season started, and that is he wanted a centre-back. After Levi Colwill got his injury, he's like, look, we need a centre-back. We did not get a quality centre-back at Levi Colwill's level, and you can see clearly that we are struggling defensively. In addition to that, our first team is clearly, obviously, is our best team. Our second team cannot compete. And it's unfair because I feel like they need to be given a chance. I don't think we need to be overly critical, but at this moment in time, they are not ready yet. We had Hato, Fofana had a run out at right back. We had, I think I can't pronounce his name, I've got to learn his name, the Argentinian midfielder that we bought, and Gitten, so I feel like Jamie still needs to be given time, but they are clearly not good enough, and the first half showed that. But when we had our first team coming on in the second half, it looked like we had something going. And you can clearly see the identity that Maresca is trying to put into the team. But if there's one thing, and I've said this before about Maresca, and especially from Leicester City fans, when I spoke to them about Maresca when he was coming to Chelsea, they said he is very, very good when it comes to attacking, but defensively, there's always a bit of problem. They leaked a lot of goals. And that's why Maresca wants really quality defenders to compensate for that. And it showed yesterday when it came to the 93rd minute, it was down to people not picking up their players. I don't want to call out a certain player, but it's very clear that certain players were not doing their marking. And I'm sorry, but you can get away with that in other clubs. But at Chelsea, we pride ourselves on a strong defense. There's one thing that Chelsea are very good at, and we've been kind of notorious for, was the fact that we defend in all of our games. You got to pick up your players, and there's some players that weren't, and it cost us. But I'll give them credit because look. But Brentford were trying to defend a very low block. They were in a back five. They were good on the counter-attack, but at the same time, I feel like we did very, very well going forwards. But defensively, it very much cost us. But I'm happy with the boys. It gives us a lot of information in terms of what expectations we have from Chelsea. But until we get a solid defense, I can't see us really challenging on all fronts, winning, getting into finals, things like that, until we lock down our defense. Because again, as I said before, goals win you games, but defense wins you titles.